preschool. So today I thought we could make a weaving board that looks like worm tracks. So do you remember the boards that we have at school where they have their different shapes or different pictures of animals and stuff like that, and they have holes all over them, and then we take our string and we weave it in and out of the holes? Well, we're gonna make something like that today. So you're gonna need a piece of paper, some string, a hole punch, some tape, and you can use paint, you can use markers, colored pencils, crayons, any coloring utensil you want to use. So first we're gonna fold our paper and fold it in half. Like that. And fold it in half again. All right, ready? And then we're gonna take our hole punch. And you can have mom and dad help you with this too if it's a little too hard. So I'm gonna punch a hole. So here are my holes that I've punched out. Now we're gonna unfold it. Oh. Really? There we go. So that's what mine look like right now. So this kind of looks cool. But maybe I want to add some more, so you can fold it back up. And I don't know. Maybe I do kind of like it. You can fold it up and add more holes if you want. I'm gonna leave mine like this for now to see how it goes. But if you want to keep adding holes, you are more than welcome to. You can do whatever you want for your worm tracks. But so this is mine. Now that I've got my worm tracks in there, because the worm tracks are where the holes are, because that's where we're gonna put, that's where our string's gonna weave in and out of. Actually, we could do that first. So then you can take your string and you wanna make sure it's gonna be long enough. That way your string will weave in and out of all the holes that you want it to go through. So let's see. I think this is a good size. And then you can cut the string, or you can have mom and dad cut the string for you. I forgot where I put my scissors. Whoops. All right. So you can cut your string. And then after, you're going to take your tape you're going to tape both ends to it, both ends of it. That way it's a little easier for the string to go through your worm tracks. So here's one end. So you want the tape to kind of look like that on your string. And then I'm going to put tape on the other end too. And you can have mom and dad help you with this because it's kind of hard for me to do it. So maybe mom and dad can help you with this part. All right, so both ends have the tape on it like that. And then to try it out, you can take your string and you can thread your string through your worm tracks. Oh. All right, see? Mine worked well. Mine worked pretty good. So, if yours work, you can then take your string out. Okay, and then you can color it. So I'm going to take my paint and I'm going to paint around my worm tracks. Why do you think I'm using brown paint? Where do worms live? Do they live in the sky? Do they live in the water? Where do they live? I think they live in the ground, right? And the ground is kind of, it's made of dirt. So that's why I'm using brown today. Because dirt, most of the time, is the color of brown. Color brown. So I'm just kind of painting around the holes. You can paint the holes if you would like. I'm not painting the holes, that way it's a little easier to see the path of the worm, where it's going. And this is finger paint, so I'm using my finger to paint this, but you can use regular paint with a paintbrush if you want. Or you can use colored pencils and just color it that way. Anything you want to use. And do you remember why, like what these trails that the worms make when they are crawling through the dirt? Do you remember why it's good for the plants? What does it help the plants do? Helps them grow, right? Because when the worm makes tunnels through the ground, the dirt in the ground, it breaks up the dirt where the plants are, and it helps them drink more water, and it helps them get more air, right? And that way the plants can get big and strong. And what else do the worms help the plants with? What do worms eat? They eat small rocks and dead plants and flowers, right? And what do they make? What happens when their body is done breaking down their food? What do we do when we're done breaking up our food in our stomachs? We go to the bathroom, right? Well, worms poop, and the worm's poop is really good for the plants. So worms are really, really good for gardens and for nature, right? If you're trying to grow plants, flowers, and vegetables and stuff, worms are really good for that. Really good for our gardens. All right. I'm almost done painting around my worm tunnels. All right, so I finished painting around my worm tunnels. I'll show you what it looks like and see if you can see the worm trails. So this is what mine looks like. Do you know where the worms are supposed to go? Let's see. I'm going to start here. And go. Oh. Back in. I wonder where my worm's going to go. Maybe it's looking for food. Maybe it's gonna go eat some food. There. So my worm went over there. That's the trail it used. So you can make as many trails as you would like with this. And, which means that you can punch as many holes as you would like in your paper. So that way for your worms to go in, and your worms is your string, and you can make as many worms as you want. If you only want to use one string, you can just cut a piece of string out. If you want to use a couple, you can cut a couple of pieces of string. I just used one because it was easier, but yeah, this will work better once it dries. I used paint, so it's going to take a little bit to dry. So if you decide you want to use paint, you'll have to let it dry before you can use it. But if you're using markers or crayons or colored pencils, you can use it right away. And you don't have to use paper. You can use cardboard. You could use thicker paper if you wanted. Cereal box, something like that. A cereal box you could paint over. Be creative. Yeah, you can use anything you want. And you don't have to leave your trails white or not color them. I just didn't paint over them. That way it was a little easier to see the trails for the worms. But yeah, this is our activity today that you can try. And I hope that you have fun with this, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I will see you Friday for our circle time. Bye.